Welcome, Pisces, to your Pisces March 2021 reading and forecast. This month we're going to use tarot, but as the subscribers know, love and affection to you, the tarot cards that we use together, they often have a lot of astrology, numerology, mysticism, and spirituality attached to them, depending on the cards, don't they? And oh, by the way, it's been great to meet a number of you Pisces for private readings recently. Great to see you and get to know you personally. If you'd like to have a one-on-one private clairvoyant reading with me, I use a little bit of tarot, but mainly other things, then just check out the information that's in the description box below, and you can see how easy it is for that to happen from wherever you may be living in the world. But now let's get the tarot underway, shall we, and see what there is in store for Pisces March 2021. Let's have a look here and see. Where's the first card? It must be this, surely. The Moon card for you, Pisces. Time for you to dig deep about a few things, I think. Well, I don't know. It depends what else comes in there. There's the Knight of Coins. What's in here? There is the Six of Wands. You're going to love the artwork on this. Original paintings. And in fact, they are so intricate and have such mysticism, well, really interesting things going on in them. So I might actually point out a few of the individual features of the artwork that you're going to find fascinating. There is the Hermit. See, that's got a lot of interesting stuff going on in it as well. What can we have finally? Where's something good? Something good. What's this one? There is the Queen of Coins. Oh, well, that is good. All right. Why don't you come, sit down next to me, have a look at the beautiful imagery on these cards while I do the reading for you. The next month's reading will be published on Wednesday, the 10th of March at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. Fascinating spread of cards here for you. Two majors here, two court cards here, and this Six of Wands in the middle. Let's have a look and see what there is going on for you, shall we? Now, sometimes we can get a lot from the imagery of the card. Well, certainly I do anyway. And so let's see what there is in store for here. Well, shadows play over a scene lit only by the moon. Anubis, this thing here, this dog, Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, sits in the form of an elegant violet dog at the foot of a tower. Across from him, here, there is a wolf that howls. Now, one tower has an astrologer on the top of it, peering up into the heavens, and on the other tower, on the top here, there is Galileo's telescope. This is basically a Renaissance deck, of course, and so Galileo was around there. Drops of moisture fall from clouds lit by a crescent moon with masculine features in this. Normally, I associate the moon with very much so with the feminine principle. And there is a huge greyfish emerging from a murky pond in the foreground. Now, interestingly for you, this is Neptune in Pisces with Venus exalted. The ruler of the flux and reflux, the child of the sons of the mighty, is what I call this card here. Well, Pisces, as you know, is very much associated with the subconscious, with emotions, with intuition, and with artistry. You embody all of those things there. And this is the last of the major arcana to be, for me, associated with a zodiac sign. And here I have the zodiac sign in this position of Pisces. That's there. Now, Neptune in Pisces, Neptune, the god of the sea, water. Well, Neptune's watery depths are associated with dreams, visions, and the imagination, which links it in with the qualities of the moon. Now, what might be going on here? I think there could well be. The question here is it reality or is it an illusion? There may be a period of mental confusion in relation to something, maybe some difficulties associated with something, which leads to a lack of clarity, Perhaps there is somebody deceiving you. I see deception around here. But you will have increased psychic abilities, perhaps also spiritual, religious-like experiences. This suggests a time in your life when something is not as it appears to be, a situation that is deceiving. You may feel as if you are lost in life and unsure, but it turns out well, I've got to say. But I'm saying this so that you are not taken by surprise when this comes up, because you could feel as if you are lost in life and unsure about which way to go, like you're in some outer area that you're not familiar with, in the dark, lost, and there are no signposts and the GPS doesn't work. This can often represent the shadow self, the subconscious, or the hidden self. Maybe you're harboring some negativity that you have suppressed or not even become aware of as yet. Well, there is the need to release this destructive energy. Now, this may not be you, but sometimes there can be feelings from childhood that have been repressed and do have a negative impact on the current situation. I have to say also, just by the by, that this can be a very erotic and sexualized time as well. It's just the energy that I'm getting up from this card that's coming through here. Certainly, I think you will have heard the call of the unknown. You are on the threshold of new experience. Pay attention now to the voice of your heart and scrutinize calmly and carefully the offers of assistance and guidance that you may receive. What inner regions feel strange, alien, or unknown to you? Where are your blind spots? What experiences are you most afraid of? Take time for stillness to go into yourself regularly and pay attention to the quality of your thoughts and the images that come up to yourself. There can sometimes be a feeling here where you feel that, I'm coming into, there's a new feeling coming up to me, and I don't know whether it's something which is good or whether it's bad. Well, I can tell you it's good. And I also say this to you if you have any nerves about it, that it is always darkest before the dawn. But say this to yourself: I enjoy making important decisions. I value honesty and integrity in relationships. I like what is mysterious within me and within others. I express myself fully and openly like the moon, where it's responsible to do so. And through choice, I can change my experience. Well, here comes the prophet of the eternal, the magus of the voice of power. Lots of power for you during this period. Let's see. Let's have a look at this image. Let me actually have a look at the image. Okay. Gee, I love the artwork on this deck, don't you? It's very interesting, I think. Here an old man holds a lamp, as you'd expect the hermit to do, which is in it's shaped like an hourglass. Now, he supports himself with a staff which has 7 roses on it and a snake. The roses on his staff symbolize the 7 stages of growth from a bud into a fully open flower. The twisted snake bites its own tail, symbolizing eternity. Now, the hermit's hat, as you see it here, that is really reminiscent of the hats and the garb that was worn by the monks in Mount Athos of Greece. That's a peninsula in Greece which has about 20 monasteries full of monks devoted to the Greek Orthodox faith. And his gown also suggests that, but his gown has faded, which suggests he's been out in the sun a lot. Underneath him is woven straw, which suggests simplicity. Yeah. Now the boats and the whale, see, there's the whale. spouting out water, and these boats in there. Well, they're reminiscent, are they not, of the story in the Hebrew Bible or the Old Testament, which is the book of Jonah. Now, the prophet Jonah, he was miraculously saved from drowning when he was swallowed by a whale, although I think the text itself refers to as a big fish, but we can assume it's a whale. And later, his preaching saved the city of Nineveh from destruction by God. Now, this is Mercury ruling Virgo with Mercury exalted. Mercury is about intelligence, and it's about communication. So I think what we have here is that it's about finding your own light. And this is coming on from this card here. So you're going through a process, I think, finding your own light, going inward, completion. But then there's a harvest coming up in here, resting in your center, patience. You'll be a very wise guide. I see you as being something of a mentor to people coming to you and asking for advice as to how to do things or how to sort out their problems. You may have an interest in learning new things. In fact, I'm sure you will, even as just surfing around the internet. All knowledge is good. And it's as if you're being illuminated from within, almost like a divine inspiration. Certainly a great wisdom set out here. Now, the hermit, he set out in search of internal fulfillment, and he has found the light within. And he is so fulfilled by the wealth of the inner realm that the external world appears unimportant to him. And when you rest in yourself, you have come home. There's no reason to chase after the deceptive light of that which is external and transitory. However, the journey inward also has its difficult and troublesome aspects. You need courage. The darkest hour is just before the dawn, and trust in yourself in order to embark on this journey. For before you reach the sought-for light, you are led through apparently danger-filled realms of your own shadow. These are represented, I think, by that snake that's down there as well, but that's also a signal where it eats itself. It's a signal of eternity. I think this suggests that you'll also be getting away from a situation in order to get a better insight into it, and you're becoming aware of something that you were previously in the dark about. Certainly spending some alone time, I think, for soul-searching and recalibrating your physical energies. There's definitely a need for you to get in touch with your untapped wisdom. Now, this may mean that you have to spend some time alone, and don't be concerned about that. Rather, accept your aloneness and don't concern yourself with people who don't understand you, who would rather see you as being part of the herd. Maybe ask yourself, have you any unresolved situations or relationships in your life? Make a list of all situations which you now wish to resolve or in some way bring to completion. Because whoever embarks on the search for the internal light must not be encumbered by unresolved conflicts. Accounts must be settled. You understand that, don't you? And in any event, say to yourself, I enjoy the feeling of completion and resolution. I will not compromise that which is important to me. I enjoy my aloneness because I can stop being alone whenever I choose. And is this process, these thoughts, this reading here worthwhile? Yes, because here we come to the Lord of Victory. The Lord of Victory. Now, what do we have here? Well, this is really the card of servants or service. Now, they wear the livery of the house of the suit of wands. Now, at the top here is a coachman. Next to him is a fool wearing motley clothes, and his club that he holds has on top of it a ribbon and a tambourine. There's a man of colour here wearing a white wig. He's like a stout guard or something. There's a gardener here with his
pickaxe or shovel or something. There is the cook. The cook has 1, 2, 3, 4 vessels hanging from him, which have figs and fish and plums and different things. There's probably a garlic. And on down here, and reasonably so, I think, he has not forgotten in this silver pail a bottle of wine, which is always welcome, is it not? Now, why am I so excited about this energy here for you? Because with these other cards around it, like this, and these quartz, and that there, and this here in the middle of it, it is Jupiter ruling the second decan of Leo, the 3rd to the 12th of August. Now, Jupiter, which is your planet in classical astrology, you know. I know people say Neptune is, but Jupiter until the last couple of 100 years, was always the only ruler of Pisces. And Jupiter is all about love, expansion, and philosophy. And this combines with the creativity of Leo. Remember, it's Jupiter in the second decan of Leo. It combines with Leo's creativity. And so you have success in achieving your goals. Leo is also ruled by the sun. And this number 6 here, mystically, I have associated with the sun as well. So there's a double dose of the sun. What's also good about this mystically in number 6, I have associated that with Christ consciousness, with Krishna consciousness, and with the consciousness of the divine that formed in the mind of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when the Archangel Gabriel recited the text of the Holy Quran to him. Now, what we have here is very much, look, victory, success, clarity, a breakthrough after this process you've gone through, the unification of your energies and feeling inspired to continue. And you'll be getting recognition from others as well. And I've got to say, well, you can be a bit of an actor sometimes, and I think that this is a period in which you will be enjoying the limelight. There's very much the case of there being a victory over past trouble. Now, although you'll remember those troubles, you will also remember how you defeated them and how you have now become stronger. All is well. You've worked hard to get here. You will have high self-confidence brought about by Leo to go forward and set new goals and improve your learning and understanding, which is the Jupiter aspect of it. So do what you are planning to do, because this moment promises success. What do you really want to achieve? What does victory mean for you? Do you have a step-by-step, reasonable, measurable plan that can reasonably get you to achieve that success? Say to yourself, I am now ready to enjoy success in my life. Every event in my life brings me closer to my final goal, and my victory brings benefits to all involved. Well, let's have a look now we'll have a look at the Queen of the Thrones of Earth, otherwise known as the Queen of Coins. What do you have to, beautiful, voluptuous woman? Let's have a look. The Queen of Coins. What is she doing there? Well, an exotic woman is dressed in billowing blue, gold, and pink robes, which is the colors for the suit of coins, incidentally. She's like the allegory of Venice by Paolo Veronese. Years ago, when I was a younger man, on Monday nights I used to go to an art appreciation class. It ran for about 20 weeks or something, where I learnt about art. And I was the only man in the class. It was full of women otherwise. Anyway, I did manage to pick up from time to time something to do with art, and so that's why I make that reference to that artist that's there. Now, she tosses a coin up in the air, and that shows a mother nursing 2 babies, one on either breast. And from the golden bowl that's in her lap, she lets fall abundantly a whole heap of gold coins. Now she wears a Venetian crown, which is similar to that which would be worn by the king. Now Venice, back in Renaissance times, it was a republic with an aristocracy of rich merchants that ran the place. Now the ground is green, and in the background here is a cornfield in July in the northern hemisphere, I'd say, full of cornflowers and poppies. A rich dish of boiled ox head is down here. I've had ox head, but it wasn't presented like that, otherwise I don't think I could have run to it. It has a lemon in its mouth and carrots to the side. And on the ground there is a glass which is adorned with sapphires. That's there. And then there's a dish of pills and medicines. The Queen rests her foot on a red cushion that's embroidered with the effigy of, if I'm not mistaken, well, the mystics among you will know it's the Kabbalistic demon Lucifuga Rossacale, Kabbalistic demon. Now, a lot of Capricorn around you at this time, and a lot of Aquarius. I think, no, it's Sagittarius is what I'm getting around here, more than Aquarius. Sagittarius and Capricorn around here for you. Now, these core cards, of course, can be of either gender, but I see this as being a woman who is ambitious, affectionate and kind, charming, timid, practical, quiet and domesticated. She is esoterically as a queen water and in the suit of earth. Now, what happens is that esoterically in my structure, water and earth are friendly but passive, so there isn't a lot of conflict with her. She is ambitious, but she works with instinct and intuition rather than the intellect. Now, I'm not saying for one moment that you don't have a good intellect. You have a fine intellect. But I think what this is saying for you is that just for the moment, be quiet, hard-working, practical, sensible, but don't become mechanical. Now, the people who are represented by this card can possess the finest of the quieter qualities, and they can, in a reticent and unassuming fashion, actually be quite lusty and sexy. It's always the quiet ones, isn't it? And they can sometimes really enjoy drinking, sometimes to excess. I think she's well when she's her best when she's expressing herself practically, I think. She shows love through domestic duties or through an external career, but she definitely strives to create a secure home for family. She can also represent a mother type who guides others through their problems. But she does need to find time to, and you need to find time to create nurturing for yourself. But she represents prosperity and security. She also represents health and diet, so just make sure you look after these things. But at this time, I'd say don't go creating any Bolshevik revolutions. Go forward quietly without an overt attack upon existing situations. You have passed through an arid stretch, I think, on your journey and have now arrived in more fruitful surroundings. Now you can rest and devote some attention to yourself and your physical needs. In what ways have you neglected your body, your outer self? Do you indulge yourself too much? Well, better to have moderation to excess than an excess of moderation, I suppose. But say to yourself, I give my body the gift of loving attention. It gives me the gift of life, energy, joy in living and health. Well then, let's quickly have a look at her son, who is the Knight of Coins. Now look at this horse here. This is the most interesting thing. This does not look like a horse that's ready for battle, does it? It doesn't look like a war horse. It doesn't look like a race horse. It looks sturdy, slow forward strength. This figure here, to me, he looks like Marco Polo. as he surveys the ancient city of Katai on the other side of this Great Wall of China, I suppose. And on this disc that he's holding here, there's the picture of a turtle. Now, what does he have to say to us? Well, I think he says a lot of he's the prince of the chariot of the earth, and Aries and Taurus are people who are going to be having something to do with you, I think, also during this period. He's energetic, a capable manager, a steadfast worker. Probably sometimes he can be thought of by you as being a bit dull, someone who's probably a little bit skeptical of spirituality, probably a little bit skeptical of tarot and astrology, someone who is slow to anger, but look out if he has been enraged. In love, he doesn't rush in, and he leans to cultivation of the heart over time. And he generally tries to set a good example to others using traditional values, I think. Competent, hardworking, reliable, actually quite materialistic, I've got to say. Somebody who can also be very focused. There is some conflict in his makeup, though, because as the knight, he is air, and earth, of course, is coins, and earth and air in my system, they are enemies and they weaken each other. If you can imagine a hurricane, like air, which is the night, such as a hurricane, a tornado, a typhoon, or a monsoon, or a cyclone, there the air can come in and lay waste the land. Well, there will therefore be some conflicts going on in his makeup. I think he's saying to me that this is a time when you'll be taking responsibility for your life and becoming focused. You could well be quite good at sport, I think, and you'll be interested in design and building things. Now, this isn't architecture in a sense of putting up a skyscraper or a shopping mall, but it can also extend to things about interior decoration, about gardening, hair, fashion, makeup, all that sort of business. Because I think that you'll be putting a lot of effort into practical things at this moment. This is a time in your life when you're going to be goal-oriented, as the Queen was saying, and you want to sort out the material side of your life. That is things to do with your health, work, things around your home. That is those things which are tangible to you. This is the time to take action, because if you do so, important experiences will result. What activities do you enjoy? What activities would help you towards self-realization? Find a physical, creative activity in which you find joy and fulfillment, and say to yourself, I am finding the work that fulfills and satisfies me. What a really interesting set of cards for you. Good job, Pisces. Well, that's the way it is for you this month.
Well, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing that. What a fascinating reading, and what a great month it looks like it's going to be for you. Now, please do me a favor, press the like button. It's good for the YouTube thing, and it's good for the channel. I appreciate it. And look, there's one thing I want you to remember until I see you next month, and it is this, and remember it always, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.